Every day we mess up when we think that our actions are what determine us and not our reflection on our actions, because we can go and mess up. Okay, good people, like, good people, successful people, whatever you like think is like higher or etc. These type of people, they mess up all the time. They mess up all the time. How do you think they're so smart? They messed up all the time. But you know why they're so smart? They learned on it. There's one type of person who's gonna mess up and keep on letting it hurt them, and another type of person that's actually gonna sit down and learn, whether that's making, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna change all my actions, or it's like, okay, I'm gonna take little efforts and then consistently earn it. But every day when we tell ourselves that, okay, if I do this, then I have messed up. If I did that, then I have messed up. No, that means that you're choosing to mess up. That means that you do actions and you don't learn from them. Only person you can blame then is you. So don't think that actions determine you, because the only thing that determines you is how you reflect on them, how you get up for them. For example, like, if you messed up today and it's like, instead, the only place you failed is failing to try to do better. Let's say you were like, say you were a child and then you picked up a bicycle to ride it, and instead you started like pedaling the wrong way with your feet. No, if you just gave up and you're like, oh my god, I messed up today, instead of being like, okay, well, let me just look at reality, change the way that my feet are positioned, and then what do you know? You didn't mess up because you gave yourself a chance to do better. So don't determine your action, don't determine your value based off of only what your actions are, because the more you start thinking it, the more you stop thinking, the more that you stop believing that I have the control over my actions, which, matter of fact, we do. So if you have control over your actions, and you focus on how can I reflect on what I did instead of how can I feel because of what I did, because it's not about reacting, it's about feeling and observing. It's like sometimes anxiety even can tell us like, okay, if I did something wrong, like let's say for example I did this thing wrong, I wasn't as healthy or whatever as I wanted to be today, or they're like, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. Some people will tell themselves that. Some people will have that like belief in their minds. Some of us, we have the belief in our minds. If we didn't do as good as we wanted to do, we're like, oh my god, I did this, I did that. Instead, and you're just like feeling like shit basically. You're like, oh my god, I didn't do this, I'm not good enough. It's like, you can make it easier for yourself, and it's like, you could make it easier for yourself. You could just be like, okay, well, hang on, deep breath, okay, first thing you have to do is admit you're wrong. Admit that you're wrong, and then be like, okay, how can I do it right? How can I do it right? Stop feeling the problem and start searching for the solution, and then what do you know? It comes to you all, it's right in front of you, because you're like reflecting. You stop and you're like, okay, well, where did I go wrong? And then it can take the smallest thing to start going on the right path. It's really not that hard. So guys, reflect on every single thing, because your actions don't define you. They're not going to define you. They don't determine your success for the day. I think it is determined by the reflection, by the work. Okay, did I make inner work? Did I reflect on my action? Like, for example, if you go throughout the whole day living by the program and living by what's comfortable, you're not going up as a person at all. You're not learning. But if you showed up and you're like, okay, I know what I did wrong, I know where I also showed up for myself, I reflected on what I did, I reflected on how I felt, not only have you made progress in the right direction, but at the end of the day, at nighttime when you're going to bed, it's like, okay, I feel accomplished, I feel fulfilled, because I did something that's genuinely for my soul. I didn't depend it off my actions. Actions are nothing when your soul isn't connected to it. You can do this, you can do something so crazy and it's not tied to you at all. Actions are important, but I'm not talking about that in this case. Actions are hella important. But if you keep on determining who your value, who you are, based off of what your actions, if you keep telling yourself that it's your actions that are going to determine all your value, all your capability, and instead you're realizing that no, your actions don't determine shit. What determines your capability, what determines how likely you are to succeed, is whether you're reflecting on it. Because if you're not reflecting on it and you're not growing as a person, where is the success? If it's material, if you're not growing mentally, if you're not growing internally, and you're succeeding on the outside, it's never going to amount to what you want it to do. So basically, guys, it's all about how you reflect on the day. It's not just about, okay, I did this already, I messed up. Never say this. So yeah, bye. Take this advice and pass it around. Live by it. I'm not playing.